Alright, so we got back from getting the new Blackstone here. Burners all really appear to be in good shape. Looks like we're just going to have a little bit of cleanup. And the guy that we bought it from said that he believes it's going to need a new regulator, which that's minor. So this is the stand here. And like I said, the burners all look pretty good. There's just some crud down in there. Don't really want to pressure wash down in there and get more moisture in, so I'm just gonna use the air compressor down here in the bottom in the storage. I can probably pressure wash that without too many issues, but I just don't want to get the moisture into the burners. And also want to see what we're looking at in here for the igniter. A little bit of corrosion. We'll get that cleaned up with a little wire brush. We'll just get rid of that battery. So use this wire brush. Get all that stuff in there loosened right up. So we can get it all hit with the air compressor. Alright, so got the inside of this all cleaned out, got a wire brush out, broke everything free, and got the air compressor, blew everything out. So that looks pretty nice down in there now. There's a little bit of rust and whatnot. I'm not overly worried about that. Now, the next thing I'm going to do probably is going to cause a little bit of controversy with some of the purists of the Blackstone, but I'm going to take some WD-40 just to protect this metal down in here. I'll wipe that all over in there just to give it an oil coat, and that'll help with the rust. Oh, a little bit of stuff, I didn't realize that came out. So there's a little bit of stuff down in there that we're going to blow out before we get too carried away. But like I said, if we wipe WD-40 down in here, it's just going to give the metal a little bit of protection, especially during the time that we're working on this restoration. Obviously, we're going to be re-seasoning the griddle itself, so any of this is going to burn off. Alright, so at the end of day one, we've picked up the unit, got it back here to Cuba. Turn you around. I've got it all tore apart as far as I really want to take it. Took the regulator off. All the doors, the panels and whatnot. Have it soaking in some cleaning solvent, and I'm going to come back tomorrow and pressure wash it. The only thing I wanted to do before I leave here for the night is check to make sure the igniter works. So I'm putting a new battery in there. Alright, so I think we're going to need a new igniter. Unless that just doesn't work. Unless it has, it should be snapping. So, probably going to go grab a new igniter. And, I guess we'll just double check it too. That's why the old battery was in there, but we'll try it like this just to... Yep, nothing. So, I'm gonna go grab a new igniter and a regulator tomorrow, and then we'll get everything pressure washed, get it all cleaned up, and then we should we should be able to start working on the cooktop at that point. It's going to take a little bit of cleaning up there. I'm going to have to get the wire brush and maybe sand in a few spots just to clean up the surface, but we'll work on that. Then we should have a fully functioning Blackstone here soon. So we'll see you tomorrow. Alright, so just made a little late night trip to the local Walmart. They had most of what we need. A couple things I want to try on it. The only thing they didn't have was any igniters, but that's probably a good thing because I was looking online and there's about 50 different types of igniters that go on Blackstones. So probably better off I'll just I'll pull the one that's on there and then I'll just order that exact one. So we'll get ready for day 2. Alright, so day 2 of working on the Blackstone. You know, like I said last night, I got it all tore apart. When I got it back, started getting it cleaned up a little bit. So I'm going to pressure wash it and just start getting everything taken care of, get it ready for some paint. So let's see how it turns out.
Steadily depressing, low down my messing, working at the car wash blues. Well, I should be sitting in an air-conditioned office in a swivel chair.
Well, some of it washed up really nice, and other stuff's gonna have to soak in some cleaner a little bit, mainly the stuff for the fryer. And there's a couple other spots that are gonna get hit with steel wool and wire brushes and everything like that. So pretty much everything is ready to just basically dry off and start sanding and wire wheeling and get it ready for paint. Alrighty, so skipped ahead a little bit. I got everything sanded down. I just wiped some of it down. Some of the things are going to get painted inside and outside. Other things are going to get only one side, so the inside isn't really going to be seen, so that's just basically a protective coat. But I'm going to be using a Rust-Oleum high heat, and that should make it last for a good long time, and being that it's high heat, it should be pretty good for being around a hot surface, I would think.
Talking some trash to the secretary, saying, "Hey now, Mark, oh God." Instead, I'm stuck here rubbing these fenders with a rag and walking home in soggy old shoes. With him steadily depressing, low down my messing, working at the car wash blues. You know, a man of my ability, he should be smoking on a big cigar. But till I get myself straight, I guess I'll just have to wait in my rubber suit of rubbing these cars.
So as you can see here, some of these labels are specific to the Blackstone and everything, and I want to try to keep it where all the specifics that we would need will be right here. So just gonna get all this stuff taped off that I don't want to paint, and we'll get all the stuff wiped out of here. So the other thing I want to tape off, I'm going to be doing this cover here with steel wool, try to clean that up and everything, and that's going to not be too abrasive to add any more scratches to this plate. So just want to get all this taped off so I don't get any paint on it, and that'll probably be one of the last things we do for the body on this. So this piece here was probably one of the worst. And you can see just from sanding it down, half painted, half not. It's made a heck of a difference here. These almost look brand new. All right, so day 3, doing the restore on the Blackstone. Didn't really film all that much. Didn't really think you guys needed to see me painting and everything like that, but got all the panels and the whole cart all cleaned up. Everything's looking nice. Gonna start on reassembly, and the cooktop is probably gonna get started either today or tomorrow. That's the part that's gonna be the most fun. Always seems to be the most controversial in all the Blackstone groups. So I'm looking forward to that. I can't wait to see the comments and have people tell me that I did it wrong. But it's my Blackstone, so I'm gonna do it the way I want to do it. So we'll maybe start getting some of this stuff reassembled, and then see if I feel like starting that cooktop right now. So this is a part that everybody is always up in arms about with the Blackstones. The cooktops are just a point of contention in every Facebook group. I have this one set up on the sawhorses. Just been wire brushing it. I'm going to show you what it looks like right now. So this is just after running a little wire brush and then one on the drill. Gonna keep working it down with the wire brushes. Then probably we're gonna eventually sand it and get it right down nice and clear. Alright, so I got started on the griddle and got it wire wheeled. Took a lot of the rust off, but I ended up getting a little distracted. I went and ended up buying a sandblaster. So gonna be working on that, and then I got distracted when I got back from getting the sandblaster because the igniter came in the mail today. So I just got done hooking that up, put the new regulator on, and I guess we'll test fire this, see how it runs. There's the griddle after it's been wire wheeled. And that's a little spot I just messed around with the sandblaster just to see how everything was working. But here's the burners. 3 griddle burners, 2 side burners. So I'm going to turn on the tank right now. Well, we have a click. That's more than we had before. Well, there is one burner. Let's try let's turn that one off. Let's try got fire on number 1. Number 2 is trying. Number 3 is also trying. Number 2 caught up. So probably just getting a little bit of air out of the lines. Let's try it. try giving that a little bit of a wire brushing and see what happens. Alright, just wire brush that. Let's try it. She's trying, but it's got a spark in there. That one worked now. So we got some decent flame on all three burners for the griddle. Definite good flame on the side burners. So we'll just let those run for a little while and burn off any crud that's in there. So I've sanded, sandblasted, wire brushed, done a lot of stuff to the griddle top here. Didn't record any of that. I didn't figure you guys needed to see somebody sanding metal. Not really the most interesting thing. But we're going to test out the Blackstone Griddle Top Restorer. It's supposed to help with any of the rust. You know, we've taken a lot of the loose stuff off, just like the directions for it say. So we'll turn you around here and show you what we're starting with. So here's where we are. You know, a little bit of surface rust, nothing really too bad, but taking it down, it's nice clean metal. So this is what we're going to be trying out. See how it works. Alright, so we moved that stuff around, agitated it and everything for a little bit. It's probably been 20 minutes or so. So I'm gonna rinse it off right now and we'll see what's under all the suds. Gotta say, I'm pretty impressed by this. You know, this discoloration that you see on here still, that's just a little bit of seasoning that has survived everything else that we've thrown at it. So yeah, I think we're going to be in good shape. So I'm going to soap it down and wash it off with soap, and maybe tomorrow we'll start seasoning. So, got the griddle up here, and we're gonna get it fired up and let it start preheating so that we can get some seasoning going. So this is a part that's gonna be the most controversial. Everybody always wants to give their 2 cents on what type of oils you use and everything. So we're going straight to Blackstone. Blackstone griddle seasoning and cast iron conditioner. This is what Blackstone makes for these. So got it preheated. We're just going to start rubbing rubbing some of this on here. Just want to cover everything with it. Want to get up the sides. The goal is just to get a real thin layer all over everything. They also recommend that you use tongs when you're rubbing this stuff around with a rag, but I just say you rub it, and if it starts feeling warm, you get your hand away. I'll rub the outsides of it here too, just to get a protective layer on those. So now we're gonna let that go, keep getting warm, and eventually you'll kind of see it starting to smoke a little bit. Not sure if the camera is picking that up, but it's starting to smoke. So you let it burn, and then let it cool down, and do it all again. I'm still not sure if yeah, you can see smoke in the camera there. So that's just the oil burning off like it should. You can see we got some color. That's a good start. And of course, the way that these are set up, the outer edges are always hard to get, but for layer number one, that's not bad. So let it run like this for another few minutes, and then shut it off, let it cool down, and do it all again. Alright, so it's cooled down after round number one here. So you can see a couple places where it might have got a little thick, but heating back up now. So just wipe it down with a clean rag, and then do everything that we just did on the last one. Wipe the stuff on there and let it burn. Alright, so something that I see in a lot of the Blackstone groups is people questioning about the oil that you can use. So we're going to go right to a Blackstone manual. We'll pick any of them just at random. This is for a 22 inch. We'll scroll down and find the section on seasoning. So if we look right here, what's the best oil to use? Blackstone conditioning and cast iron, Blackstone seasoning and cast iron conditioner, any plant-based cooking oil, rendered animal fats with no additives. So whatever oil you want to use is fine. I've seen people say to use bacon, just fry bacon on it. Problem is that there's additives with the salts and everything, so you don't really want to use that. But and anything else, if you want to use canola oil, coconut oil, avocado oil, grapeseed oil, as long as it's a plant-based cooking oil or the Blackstone seasoning, you can use it. So don't be afraid to use whatever you want to use. And like I said before, don't overthink it. Because Blackstones are really a lot of fun. And if you overthink the process of it, you won't have any fun with it at all. So this is after the second seasoning. I have it heating up right now for coat number 3. It's covering really well though. I'm happy with it. Alright, so the Blackstone project is complete. I just got done putting it all back together. Turn you around and show you what we got now. So, yeah, everything is all fresh paint. Got the new burners in there. That's the seasoning so far. So when you're seasoning a Blackstone, the corners are always going to be really hard to get, you know, so if you see all the corners, the middle looks real nice. I'm really happy with that. I just actually cooked on it for the first time since I've had it, and everything cooked really nice. The heat was great. So I'm really happy with it. It's you know, it's been a fun little project. You know, picked this Blackstone up for $100, and with paint and everything else, there was maybe another $100 or so that went into it. You know, with a new igniter, everything. So pretty happy with it. So now I'm gonna get this thing loaded up and I'm gonna take it to my house. My parents were generous enough to let me take over their garage for a little project and do this, but really happy with the result, and you'll be seeing this on future episodes. So as always, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel, like and comment on the videos, and leave any suggestions in any videos that you might have, and we'll make sure that we answer them.